All right, guys. Obviously, I'm not here today, but I'm going to make this video to try to explain to you guys your project, and so just bear with me. All right. So before I begin, if you were not here yesterday, I rearranged everybody into groups, and those groups are uploaded to Google Classroom. So let me see if I can find it here. Inside of Google Classroom, I believe it's down here. Make sure you take note of your group number and the groups that you're and individuals that you're in a group with. So at this time, you could go ahead and move to the correct location, starting with table number 1, which is right in front of the big garage door. Group 2, you're going to be right behind group number 1. And group 3, you're going to be at the table closest to the door. Group 4 is going to be at the table that's right in front of my desk, which is where Osvaldo, Jayden, and Kaylin and Jose was sitting. And group number 5, you're going to be at the back table where Litzy and Ethan were sitting. And group 6, let's put you guys on the left side of the room. I think I got everybody. So we have 6 groups of 4. Okay, so let's begin. You guys are going to start a project called the Suite Improvement Challenge. And let's go ahead. You could go to your PLTW curriculum. So what are your goals? What do we want to accomplish? What are our objectives for this particular project? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to apply an iterative design process, including developing appropriate models and or simulations to creatively address a need or solve a problem. You're going to create technical drawings in your engineering notebook, and you're going to use Onshape to create a model, create a CAD model. You're going to demonstrate independent thinking and self-direction in the pursuit of accomplishing a goal. And you're going to communicate effectively with an audience based on the characteristics of the intended audience. Now, the workflow is going to go similar to what we did in 1.3.7. Now, so you can scroll down. Let's go through this dilemma here, the bakery's dilemma. A Cupcake Party, a small family-owned bakery, is known throughout your state for their specialty individual baked goods. Treats such as mini tarts, standard frosted cupcakes, and jumbo muffins are ordered in large quantities for a variety of events. Muffins and cupcakes are individually packaged for shipping and distribution, while tarts are packaged in groups of 2. Anita Davila, the head baker, has been using 3 types of packaging for the 3 different treat offerings. However, when customers place orders for combinations of treats, Anita often has difficulty packaging items for shipping in an efficient way. Also, there have been notable problems with the packaging materials. Here are a few reviews the bakery has received on its website. So you can scroll down and see the reviews. So you have the first review, Tahir Vedas. I would not recommend these containers to anyone. The product is very cheap and flimsy. Several of the cupcakes were crushed. Guests at my wedding had difficulty getting the cupcakes out of the container. Terrible design. Luella Clay gave it a 1 star, and we're talking about the packaging material that the cupcakes come in. If I could give 0 stars, I would. These cupcake holders are awful. It is making me reconsider buying anything from the bakery, even though their desserts are delicious. Most of the cupcakes were tipped over inside the container, and there was frosting everywhere. Yuck. So much packaging to just throw away. Third review. I purchased over 200 treats for my first event, literally half. I visited the bakery to taste some amazing treats, cupcakes, muffins, and cherry tarts. I was so looking forward to the arrival of these treats at the event center. Literally half of the containers would not stay closed after I removed them from the shipping box. They were flimsy and constantly opened. I tried to use tape to finally close them, but to no avail, they still popped open. Hard to keep the treats fresh when they're exposed to air. Okay, and the final review, need to rethink how to get treats home from bakery. I bought several jumbo muffins for my family's desserts. They were nearly impossible to get out of the container. We ended up ripping off the tops of the muffins and scooping out the rest. So obviously, when you take a look at these reviews, they think very highly of the product, but the packaging is what's causing the problem. So you guys are working with groups, okay? So let's start off. What we're going to do is this project is going to be broken into several phases. So today is going to be phase 1. And in phase 1, let me get to the correct page here. In phase 1, let's talk about the challenge. So the Cupcake Party company is known for individual baked goods. They make mini tarts, frosted cupcakes, and jumbo muffins. They're currently facing packaging problems with shipping. We need to help design a better packaging solution. So if you take a look at the second slide here, let's compare the products. So they have their product and others' packaging. So the problem is the current packaging is inefficient. Items get damaged during shipping, negative customer reviews, and our design goals. We're going to use the design process to create better packaging. We're going to create CAD software designs. When I say CAD software designs, you guys all know that I'm talking about Onshape. And we're going to follow the engineering practices and the design process to create better packaging. You're going to work independently and in groups. And we're looking to improve our communication skills. That means communication amongst your group and communication to whomever your client is, which is going to be this bakery. Now, these are the steps that we're going to take. We're going to initiate, plan, execute, and complete. So, the only thing we're going to worry about today is the initiation process. Okay, actually, that's going to be the first couple of days. We're going to define the project scope. We're going to identify constraints. We're going to set deadlines. We're going to gather resources and establish a budget. Now, what we're going to do today, or what you're going to do today, is you're going to focus on establishing a team charter. So let me go back to Google Classroom. And inside Google Classroom, I have a little form that I've designed for you. So, in this chart, or this form, you're going to project name, Sweet Improvement Challenge. You're going to put today's date for the day, Period 4. You're going to include all your team members. Now, notice in 2 of these spots, there are actual titles for participation. You have a project manager, you have a team leader, and the other 2 areas are team members, okay? So as a group, you guys are going to have to vote or determine who your project manager is going to be. That person is going to be in charge of making sure that anything that I communicate is communicated to your group, okay? So that person is going to be the intermediary between your group and me. If your group has a question, that individual should be the individual that comes and talks to me. I should not hear from any group member except the project manager. We're going to have a team leader. The team leader is going to make sure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to do, along with the project manager. So the team leader is kind of considered an assistant project manager. So if the project manager happens to be absent that day, then the team leader becomes the project manager. And you guys are going to have to vote on whom that individual within your group is going to be. So this is your first step. So go ahead and decide who these individuals are going to be. Now, you have an area for team name. Anytime you're working with a team, you want to build camaraderie. One of the ways in which you build camaraderie is you come up with a team name that you're going to have a little bit of pride in. So your team name could be anything that you want. It just has to be school appropriate. Scroll down. You're going to have we have the next section is the project goals. So you're going to describe what your project goals are. What do you want to accomplish as a group? So you're going to write 2 to 3 clear goals. Okay? Try to keep it to no more than 1 line. Now, by the way, when you complete this, I want you to complete it in complete sentences. So my advice to you is to go through and read through the dilemma once again and come up with 2 to 3 goals. And by the way, these aren't written in stone. You can always change your goals as you progress through the assignment. Next up, project timeline. So for this, the only thing I want you to put is today's date, which is February 28th, because this is the official start day of this project. I'll give you more information on the end date when I get back. Important due dates. Your design sketches are going to be due Thursday of next week, which will be March 4th. So in this area, I want you to type Thursday, March 4th. Final presentation. I'm going to get back to you on this part. So you can leave that blank. This area, team member responsibilities, I want you to define what everybody's responsibilities are going to be. Now, I kind of gave you a brief description of what a project manager does. So you need to include the information that I just said for the project manager and team leader. You can increase their responsibilities as the team, so you can add more to their responsibilities. But you cannot have less than what I've just mentioned. Also, you will need to assign responsibility for team member 1 and team member 2. Everybody's got to have an assignment, got to have a goal. You're a team. Resources needed. Think about some resources that you may need and include them in this area. Discuss your constraints, any limitations you may have in completing this project. So we've already talked about constraints previously and on the last project that we completed. How are you and your team members going to communicate? So include that here. If you have other means of communication, you can add it to this list. You and your team are going to have to agree on some basic guidelines on operating as a team. What's your participation going to be like? So this is fair game for anything that you come up with. And just make sure that it is school appropriate. And I'll give you some examples. And this form is going to be due on Monday. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to print this, and I'm literally going to have everybody sign this form. You're making a written agreement of this is how you're going to participate. This is what you're going to contribute. And I'm going to hold you to it. Once you guys sign it, once I print it and you guys sign it, then I will approve or disapprove it. Okay, so make sure you do a good job with this. So take your time in completing this. Again, this form would need to be uploaded to the 228 assignment by Monday, and this will be a grade. If you or your group members have any questions, just send me an email. Okay, I'll try to look at my email once or twice this weekend, if I can, and I'll try to respond to you. So, your only assignment for today, February 28th, is to complete that charter. Take your time, do a good job with it.